Born as Temüjin around 1162 near the Onon River in modern-day Mongolia, Genghis Khan's rise from obscurity to ruler of the largest contiguous land empire in history is often celebrated as a feat of leadership. But beneath the legend lies a darker, blood-soaked path. His empire was not built merely by strategy and unity. It was forged through systematic slaughter, the destruction of entire cities, and the terrorization of entire populations. Genghis Khan was not just a conqueror. He was a ruthless force of nature who reshaped the medieval world through fire and fear. Temüjin's early life was shaped by betrayal and brutality. His father, Yassa, was poisoned by the rival Tatars, and the young boy and his family were cast out by their own clan. Reduced to scavenging, Temüjin learned early that mercy was a weakness. He killed his half-brother Bektar in a dispute over food, cementing an early reputation for cruelty and domination, even over family. Temüjin's consolidation of Mongol tribes was not peaceful. Through treachery, hostage-taking, and executing rival tribal leaders, he eliminated any who challenged him. One by one, powerful Mongol factions such as the Merkits, Taichiuds, and Tatars were decimated, often with horrific cruelty. After defeating the Tatars, he ordered the execution of all males taller than a cart axle. The message was clear: submit or be exterminated. In 1206, after subduing nearly all the Mongol tribes, Temüjin declared himself Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. It marked the beginning of a reign not just of expansion, but of calculated devastation. He reorganized his army into a brutal meritocracy and implemented a sophisticated intelligence system. Loyalty was rewarded. Hesitation meant death. The most infamous episode in Genghis Khan's military career was his campaign against the Khwarazmian Empire, 1219 to 1221. After a Mongol trade caravan was massacred and a diplomat executed by Shah Ala ad-Din Muhammad, Genghis responded not with diplomacy, but with annihilation. His army swept across Central Asia like a plague. Otrar, Bukhara, Samarkand, and Nishapur, once centers of Islamic learning and culture, were turned into graveyards. At Nishapur, following the death of his son-in-law, Genghis ordered the massacre of perhaps 100,000 people. In Bukhara, he mocked Islam by entering the Friday mosque on horseback, claiming, "I am the punishment of God." The historian Juvaini, who traveled through the ruins after the invasions, wrote that the Mongols created mountains of skulls and rivers of blood. The cities that resisted saw their scholars, artisans, women, and children slaughtered en masse. The few survivors were often enslaved or used as human shields in future battles. Genghis Khan's campaigns in northern China against the Jin dynasty were equally merciless. The siege of Zhongdu, modern-day Beijing, in 1215 led to the sacking of the city. Chroniclers record that over 100,000 civilians were massacred, and fires were set that lasted for days. The Chinese countryside was depopulated, villages razed, and fertile lands turned into desolate tracts. Genghis made a policy of forcing peasants to serve as arrow fodder, pushing them into the line of fire to absorb enemy attacks. Genghis Khan died in 1227, possibly from wounds, illness, or even murder. His exact cause of death remains mysterious. But the terror he unleashed did not die with him. His successors, notably Ögedei, Mungke, and Hulagu, continued the genocidal tradition, most notoriously in the sack of Baghdad in 1258, where over 200,000 people were reportedly killed, ending the Abbasid Caliphate. Modern Romanticism paints Genghis Khan as a pioneer of trade and governance, but that narrative often ignores the sheer scale of the devastation. Entire cities were razed, cultures eradicated, and millions killed. Historians estimate the Mongol conquests led to the deaths of 40 to 60 million people, nearly 10% of the global population at the time. That is a staggering figure, unmatched by any other pre-industrial warlord. Even the Mongols' so-called tolerance was conditional. Those who did not resist were spared but lived under constant threat, their women and children taken as spoils of war. Genghis instituted draconian laws, such as execution for minor theft, and showed no hesitation in exterminating populations for minor slights. If this dark and untold side of Genghis Khan's legacy opened your eyes to the brutal truths of history, help us spread awareness. Like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more deep, unfiltered historical documentaries that don't shy away from the truth.